Welcome to
another episode of Roses and Thorns.
I'm Kelly.
I'm Ryan.
And we are going to recap episode 2 of The Bachelor.
Yeah.
Featuring Colton Underwood.
Mm-hmm. We're going to talk at you, at your faces, at your ears.
At your ears, faces.
Yeah. About The Bachelor.
Yeah. So.
News?
At the top. Yeah. Some news. I am sure that anyone who uses social media to find information about The Bachelor is aware of Jason and Caitlin's date this past weekend.
Oh, well, I don't know about it. Do you know about it?
I mean, I don't know about it, but I know that it lasted the entire weekend.
Yeah.
How
do you know that?
They went on a date, her Instagram, which I don't follow because I don't have Instagram, but her, I don't use Instagram, but on the Facebook, Bachelorino Facebook page, they were keeping everyone updated. Oh. So, I don't know the exact days that everything happened, but I know that they went on a date. And then the next morning they were at brunch together with a bunch of friends. And then there was part 2 of their date that kept getting Instagrammed. And so it lasted the whole weekend.
Wow.
Yeah. So things are looking pretty good for Jason and Caitlin. We didn't watch her season.
Yeah, we don't know her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did get some tea about her from Nick's new podcast, The Vial Files.
Oh.
I'm not going to recap it because I think it's way better to hear him talk about it.
Sure.
But if you like Nick, I recommend the podcast. He talks so far the episodes, and he only has 2 episodes, but so far the episodes have been half Bachelor, half, actually maybe a third Bachelor, 2/3 asking questions from, getting questions from people. Because I guess he has been doing Ask Nick once a week or something on Instagram.
On Instagram. Okay.
Yeah, and so then he's been getting questions from people. So he's just kind of continuing that. It's basically a podcast advice column.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, I've heard other podcasts that they just get listener questions and then.
Oh, I see. Kind of those old school TV shows.
Yeah.
That used to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it used to be
Love Doctor and stuff.
Yeah, that and. The one old lady that would do it.
There was an old lady, and there was also those 2 dudes that were on Comedy Central at night, or MTV at night. I forget, but yeah, basically that. We're I'm in love with my best friend. What do I do? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I recommend. So you get a lot of insight about The Bachelor.
Now.
Yeah, it's true.
It's so hard for us, people that aren't almost famous. Yeah, and we're just having fun.
No,
it would be nice if, I don't know, people listen to it more.
I mean, I'm happy with our podcast. I have fun.
Yeah.
So, whatever. I don't care what other people are doing. I like what we're doing. But I mean, if you have the time, go listen to Nick's podcast. If you like him, I respect him. I think he's cool. We don't have the history with Nick that other people have, where they saw him on Caitlin's season and JoJo's season and Bachelor in Paradise. Not JoJo, sorry, Andy. Andy's season, Caitlin's season, and then Bachelor in Paradise. We don't know him that way. I guess he was the villain on Andy's season, but we don't know.
Yeah.
So
we don't. Yeah, we jumped in.
We saw him as the Bachelor.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think I heard a little bit about what happened. I don't even remember, but there was a lot of people not liking that Nick was the Bachelor.
Yeah, because he had been a villain before. So it's if Corinne became the Bachelorette or Crystal became the Bachelorette, you'd be what the fuck? What are you doing here?
Yeah.
But
I feel was he also a villain? Well, you don't know. But if he was also a villain on Bachelor in Paradise, then... I
heard... by his own words, that he was the hero in Paradise. But he was classifying people as villains or heroes. Okay. So,
could have been, sarcastic, though?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think that's how he became the Bachelor.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And if you remember correctly, I predicted that Colton is going to be the next Bachelor. I said it was possible that Colton could be the next Bachelor based on what happened with Nick.
Because anybody could be the Bachelor.
Yeah, that he reminded me some of Nick. I like Nick better than Colton. I don't have anything against Colton. I just find Colton boring. I liked that Nick we said this before, if you have been listening to us that long, those episodes are no longer available. So if you've heard us say this, then like, awesome for you. Mm-hmm. But like, I liked that Nick called them women instead of girls. And I really liked that he reminded them that they got a choice in accepting those roses, that it's not just about him giving roses, it's about them accepting them as well. And so they were equally able to just say no at any point. And I liked that. And on his podcast, he says that his goal was to be like the first male feminist bachelor. Mm-hmm. I guess, sorry, because bachelorettes aren't male. So I guess it would be just the first feminist bachelor, period. Yeah. But I mean, I think he did overall a good job. I mean, as feminist as you can be in a show like this.
I think so too.
Right.
He did a good job.
Also, he's only had 2 episodes so far, and both of his co-hosts, because he has a guest on each show, and both of them have been women. Oh. And they're not bachelor people. They're just like people he knows. Okay. Yeah. They are also like famous people. Not like famous. Like probably C-list, not even B-list. But like, I don't know who they are, but they're... Okay. They have names.
And they were in things?
They are on IMDb.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Do you have news?
I don't.
Okay.
Nothing really going on.
Would this be a good time to talk about my conspiracy theories?
Yes.
Okay. Conspiracy theory number 1. I'll say that's the first one because it's the shorter one. Mm-hmm. Catherine's age. Mm-hmm. Yep. So she's not 26. Like, there's no way she's 26. Like, look at her face. So if you're not sure who Catherine is, she's the one that brought her dog on night 1, which questions, where's the fucking dog? Colton did like a little home movie thing at the beginning of the episode of week 2, and there's no dog in sight. Where is the dog? Yeah. Where is Lucy?
I mean, we didn't see Copper after the first date.
That's true. But who's watching the dog? Mm-hmm. Anyway, but Catherine's the one that brought the dog. She's the one that interrupted 4 times. If you don't know what we're talking about from that, then you didn't watch the first episode. Yeah. That's your own fault.
You should watch the first episode.
Also, correction, I had been referring to her as DJ Argo. I reversed some letters. It's DJ Agro. Her last name is Agro. Okay, Catherine Agro. Okay. Oh, I searched for things because I want to know how old she actually is. Because you can look at that face and she's not 26. And I am not trying to shame anyone. I just feel like she's being dishonest with us. Yeah. And it's more than just having work done. Initially, from the picture, I thought she's had work done that went bad and made her look older. Yeah. But we've seen her 2 weeks now. There's no way she's younger than us. There is no way that she is 4 years younger than us.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And you found a picture of her. Mm-hmm.
And that picture, she already looked older than us, or about our age.
Yeah, she looked late 20s, I would say, in that picture. Yeah. Like, she could pass for 26 in that picture. However.
Yes, however. Continue.
That picture was not taken with a smartphone. There's no way that lighting, like that green tint to that lighting. No, those older phones, those pixels were too small. They would not have been able to produce something like that. Mm. That picture was not taken with a camera phone. That picture was either taken with a digital camera or was taken with a physical camera and scanned and uploaded, because it's got that tint of an early 2000s, late 90s picture. No way is this bitch 31. Not trying to shame, just want honesty here.
Welcome to Kelly's Conspiracy Corner.
All right, conspiracy theory number 2. Yeah. Colton's height.
Do you think the Google search lied?
Yes.
Okay.
So, I don't know how tall he claims to be. I don't know if this is like driver's license stuff where you just like put out the bullshit that you want, your like aspirational goals.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I mean, or is it just like self-reported or something like that?
Right? And so like, which is like driver's licenses, right? Like self-report. They don't like measure your height and your weight. So like, that's why my driver's license still says a weight that I haven't been in 10 years. Or before. Colton's self-reported Googleable height is 6'3". All right. We looked up last week Jason's height and Blake's height. Blake's height is 5'11". All right, you think maybe Colton is 4 inches taller than Blake, but wouldn't I have noticed that? Fucking Jason's height says 5'9". There's no goddamn way that Colton is 6 inches taller, half a fucking foot taller than Jason. No way. I've looked up pictures. Would you like to see a picture, my dear fiance, Ryan?
Yeah.
So I have a picture here of, this is Kelly's conspiracy theory corner.
Exhibit A.
I have a picture here that I'm about to show Ryan of Colton next to Jason, next to Garrett. Garrett's height is 6'2". Ready? Okay.
Okay.
This is from Colton's Instagram.
How tall is Blake?
Blake is not in this picture, but he is 5'11". Jason is reported to be 5'9".
Oh.
From accurate sources, I don't know. However, Colton is not half a foot taller than Jason in that picture.
No.
And Garrett is for sure taller than Colton in that picture.
He is
There's no way that Garrett is 1 inch
closer?
shorter than Colton.
He's standing closer to the camera than Colton, so he's...
A little bit, but his leg is like kind of like bent, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Which would take away some of his height.
I would expect him to be
And
taller
Colton's
than
upright?
Colton. Yeah.
Yeah. 6'2".
Mm-hmm. He's
From
not-
left to right,
he's
Colton
not
6'3", Jason 5'9", Garrett 6'2". Again, these numbers are just numbers I'm finding on the internet. But Colton, why are you lying to people? Also, I found a picture of him with Becca. Becca's supposed to be 5'7". Colton does not look like he's almost a foot taller than her. He doesn't. We would have noticed. We would have noticed.
And I don't know if the NFL also is like self-reported or whatever, but it says that he's 6'3" as well.
You would think the NFL would like measure people, right?
You would think.
I don't know. Conspiracy theories.
I understand.
That's Kelly's conspiracy corner. It was supposed to be like alien noises, like X-Files, and it wasn't. I'm just going to go ahead and say it wasn't.
It's pretty close.
All right. You want to talk about what we saw this week?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's do it. How does it start off?
So it starts off with Colton with like the selfie camera, like videoing himself in bed, like so excited for the day.
I'm just waking up right now.
I'm shirtless and laying in bed, and I don't remember if he was shirtless. I just assume he was shirtless.
I'm assuming he was shirtless. He was shirtless.
Someone, I don't remember, I think it was on Twitter, brought up the good point that on Ari's season, we never once saw him without his shirt off.
Nope, not once.
And it's like, he's probably just like a normal fucking dude. And so like, he didn't go to the gym every goddamn day for 2 hours.
Yeah.
I want to cuss a lot today, and I feel like it's more than usual. And I'm sorry that
It's
have
a
said
combination
so many.
of wine and whiskey. It's okay.
I had a glass of wine with dinner, and then a shot of whiskey for pre-podcasting, and now I have an old-fashioned that Ryan made me. If you ever meet Ryan, you should have him make you an old-fashioned. It's delicious.
You're delicious.
If that's inappropriate. I don't think you meant it that way, but let's move on.
That was about it, right? And then Chris Harrison walks in.
Yeah, and then we get our first group date card.
Who was it?
Did you write it down?
I wrote down Hannah G. I didn't write it in any order.
Sure.
Just from what I remember. Hannah G, Anyeka, Elise, Catherine, Tracy, Demi.
You missed Bree and Nicole.
Yeah. That's pretty good from not like, I mean, I did eventually go back and probably add one or two, but from what I just heard.
I'm not going to say pretty good. I give you a C.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. So they go to a theater and they see Nick Offerman and Megan Malawi.
So obviously they were, I think it was Megan. That's the one that tweeted that or maybe Instagram. I don't fucking know the difference. That they were going to be on the premiere of The Bachelor. I kid you not, premiere in capital letters. They must have just been confused because they were probably like first group date. This must be like the first episode.
First group date, yeah.
Because they probably don't watch the show. Can't blame them.
Yeah.
So, I am glad that it's not like they were on the premiere or it's supposed to be on the premiere and then we're like cut out of it.
Yeah.
You know? So like, glad they were there. I've been waiting to see them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite couples.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're pretty short. They're way shorter than Colton, and Colton is obviously...
Let's look it up. Let's look up everyone's height
I can look it up.
in the world.
I can look up Megan Malawi. Well, yeah.
Okay, I'll look up Nick Offerman height. 5'11".
He's pretty tall.
Chris Pratt's 5'2". Adam Scott is 5'10". Aziz Ansari's 5'6", because this is what Google wants you to know.
Megan Malawi is 5'4".
Oh,
but
she is short.
I saw them both staring up at Colton, though.
Maybe Nick Offerman's height is a lie as well. I don't know. But, I mean, I know Megan Malawi's short from, like, Will and Grace. Like, she's tiny.
Right. But I'm sure she was wearing heels. But Nick Offerman and Megan Malawi were about this. I think he was taller, maybe a couple inches, but pretty similar. She was just
wearing, like, 5-inch heels.
And then, like,
probably
they were looking up at Colton. Unless he was standing on a box, I don't know.
Maybe his height isn't a lie, and maybe Jason and Garrett's and Blake's are. Or maybe Nick Offerman's height is a lie.
So
Jason, maybe everyone's height is a lie.
Jason is saying he's shorter than he actually is?
I don't know. I don't even remember what source I found that on. I can look it up very quickly.
That's okay.
I found it on biowikis.com.
Okay, so they are telling stories about their first something.
Firsts.
First something.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. No.
So Nick and Megan both tell sexual firsts. Mm-hmm. And explicitly, in my opinion, explicitly sexual firsts. However, these women are are saying things about Nick and Megan's stories being, quote, cryptic and, quote, full of innuendos, and possibly a paraphrase because I didn't write down at the exact moment, a half quote, sexual undertones. Mm-hmm. There was nothing implied in these stories.
No, there wasn't. I mean, undertone, it was more like the whole tone.
It was the entire fucking story.
Yeah.
Like, the only way that you would think it was an undertone is if you weren't goddamn listening.
Yeah.
Like, so like, Megan's story was like full out, like no question.
Yeah.
Like, she used all of the words for the things that she meant.
She said fucking like a bunch of times.
Yeah. There was no question.
Mm-hmm.
No question. Nick's story, he said, took a woman's flower, which is a common euphemism for sex. Like, if somebody says that, you know exactly what they mean. It's like saying someone passed away to mean they died.
Yeah.
It's not that it's a cryptic thing.
Yeah.
It's just a different way to say it. It's more polite. Right?
Yep.
What the fuck ever.
Okay. So instead of talking about their first times in the category of sex, they just first of anything.
Of anything, sure.
Yeah. And I was like, okay,
fine.
That's what I thought.
That's nice, because then you get to, like, choose what first you want. Like, it could be, like, your first time playing basketball or whatever.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay, do you want to talk about each one, or just, like, highlights?
Highlights of each one.
Okay.
So Colton's was about the first time he told someone he was a virgin. Cool.
Which was actually cool. Like, it was another football player that he confided in, and he was like, cool, man. Nice.
Yeah, because here's the thing, is, like, everyone acts like it's a big deal that Colton's a virgin, and it's not.
Yeah.
It's not. Like, maybe, like, 10, 15, I guess maybe it was probably 10 years ago that he had, no, it wouldn't have been 10 years ago he had this conversation, because he's 26. But, like, 10, 15, 20 years ago, yeah, maybe, because, like, but I feel like machismo.
I'm trying to think of that word right now too.
Like masculinity, machismo attitude has been like toned down.
Seriously trying to think of that word. It's like machismo.
I like machismo personally.
Macho man.
Stay away from machismo.
Randy Savage.
I think it's machismo. But yeah, I feel like that's toned down over time. And I would hope by the time that Colton was 20, that like it wouldn't have been that big of a deal anymore.
You would be surprised.
But I'm not a dude.
Yeah.
Right?
It's still like a thing until, I don't know. I think it's actually kind of hard. Like, if you are still a virgin, it would be really hard to confess that you are a virgin. I
mean, I could see how it would be like awkward if you are like, with a woman that you've like gone on a few dates with, and then you confess that you're a virgin, that like that might be an awkward conversation.
It's not something you have to confess, though. I mean, on TV, yes, but like the first person I had sex with when I lost my virginity, I didn't tell her I was a virgin.
Sure,
just had sex.
Yeah, sure.
Didn't have to.
It shouldn't be that big of a deal. And I think to most people, I don't know, because obviously, like, I hang out with like-minded people, so I don't know. But the overwhelming response that I have seen on Twitter and Facebook is, who fucking cares that he's a virgin? Like, the first time was like, okay, cool. And then, like, after that, we're like, we're tired of it because we don't care. We never cared that he was a virgin. And so, like, it's cool that guy responded that way.
Trying to make a story out of it. That there really isn't a story about it.
It's ridiculous.
I would hope that, whoever had made fun of him in the past is like...
Fuck them.
Well, fuck them at that time in their lives. Hopefully, at some point, they're like, man, I really felt bad about making Colton feel bad about being a virgin or something like that. Because sometimes I used to pick on my cousin.
Yeah.
And then, every time, I don't know, I feel bad that I picked on him. Like... Past Ryan didn't think about it being that big of a deal, but then now once you grow up and then like that machismo and like stuff isn't that important anymore, you're like, man, fuck, I shouldn't have made fun of Colton for being a virgin. Like he confided in me and stuff like that, and it's like it's really not that important. But
that's true. When we're younger, we do say really dumb things and we react in really dumb judgmental ways. So that's a good point that you made, that maybe people did when they were younger treat him poorly about it, and hopefully now that they're older they're like, oh yeah, that was stupid because it doesn't matter.
I don't,
good point.
On Reddit I don't see anybody making fun of him because he's a virgin. It's mostly making fun of ABC making it such a big deal.
Right, yeah, that's what I've seen too. That's the only thing people care about is like, stop telling us he's a virgin, we don't care.
Yeah I mean, I understand that like it is obviously a talking point for these women.
But I wouldn't.
Sure. I wouldn't. I mean, how...
Because I don't care.
Sure. But, like, Hannah B asked, like, so why are you a virgin?
But he's told us so many times.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. So it doesn't make sense for her to really ask that, since she already should know the answer.
Right.
Maybe she was just looking for a different answer.
Maybe. Like, she was like, maybe I can get the real answer out of him. Maybe. Or whatever.
I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Colton.
Anyway, so that was Colton's stories. Elise's story was her first time dating a younger man, which is, spoiler alert, this show.
Yes.
And then Demi, like, makes fun of her. Not so, sorry. She doesn't make fun of her. She does, like, a backhanded compliment, saying how brave Elise is.
I thought she was being sarcastic.
And maybe it was. It's hard to remember now.
It's hard, like, she's so monotone that it's really hard to tell.
Demi?
Yeah.
Demi?
Yeah.
The little short blonde one?
Yeah.
Monotone?
I mean, she occasionally will like exclaim and
She's
stuff.
like the bubbliest person on the show. I don't think she's monotone.
I don't know. But like sometimes you can't tell sometimes she lacks tone or inflection on things.
I mean, I didn't write down her tone or anything.
Okay.
I wrote Demi says, which doesn't tell me what happened. But like what she said was that Elise was brave. Basically, she said she was brave for admitting that she's older.
I thought it was sarcastic.
And it might have been. Yeah, it might have been.
Yeah.
I would have to watch it again to like find out what my actual perspective is. I just assumed it was a snarky, backhanded thing. I mean, ultimately, Colton really liked Elise's story.
Yeah. Nicole tells jokes about dating white bread.
Yeah. So her first time dating a white guy, which again is the show.
Yes. Hannah G next.
Yeah.
Her first time getting a first impression rose.
Yeah, that's kind of what I got from the story too. I don't know what she was going for.
Yeah.
But that's what I got.
I feel like we got as much as we could out of her.
Yeah. I don't know that she has a lot of depth, which I think makes her a really good match for Colton. Onyeka's was like...
First time saving a guy
from thirsty bitches.
Something like that.
Yeah, that's what I wrote down too.
Yeah, and then that was...
Night one.
That was night one. And then Catherine...
From Catherine, I think.
Yeah, and then Catherine responded in getting yelled at?
The first time... Like, basically, the first time Onyeka blew a whistle at her saying trying to save Colton from drowning in thirsty bitches. So I don't know what Catherine originally wrote down.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't care. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. I think I skipped. I think I didn't get this one.
Tracy?
Oh, was Tracy next?
Okay, so here's the thing is I don't have anything for Brie. I have nothing for Brie.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I did skip one. So it was Brie.
You have something about Brie?
No, but I skipped. There was like there's someone in between this.
It must have been the quickest thing ever because I was like consciously writing them all down.
Uh-huh.
And then I got to the end. I'm like, I
Where's
don't
Brie?
have enough. I only have 7. I should have 8. I have nothing for Brie.
I don't have anything for Brie either.
I think that means nothing happened. If
Yeah.
we both missed
Must have been like first time getting a dog or something like that. Yeah.
But it must have been the shortest story in the world. Like, first time being on stage. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, Tracy's was first time trying to date a virgin.
Trying to dating a virgin.
Well, so no, because by the time she dated him, he wasn't a virgin anymore. And so this really dramatic story that I think was a lot longer than what we saw and involved fighting and like...
right. First time dating a virgin, not this show.
Yeah, it wasn't the show. It was like in college or something.
Yeah,
she was like competing
with a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think the friend got there first.
Mm-hmm.
So then he wasn't a virgin anymore by the time she dated him or something. Because again, they cut out part of the story, so I didn't follow it exactly.
Got punched in the face or something?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, her or the other person.
Seemed real
I'm not
dramatic
sure.
and almost made up.
Yeah, possibly.
Demi? No.
I don't know what her first was supposed to be, but
First
she
time
kissed Colton.
getting the group date rose. This is a story of me getting the first group date rose. That's what she said at the end.
Ah.
Yeah.
But she didn't. Ha 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 ha
What?
Ryan says what when he wants me to repeat something stupid I just did. Sometimes he does it after I sneeze. Like I can just repeat that. But he just wanted me to laugh stupid again.
Okay. So
There's a chance that what didn't even show up in the microphone and people are like, I don't know what you're talking about.
they probably
That's
heard it.
fine.
Okay. Then it was like the night
I'm going to
date-
call it the after party.
after party.
You like that?
Night group date party.
That's longer. How about after party?
After party. The after party. What happens?
It happened. So they do like their cheers for the beginning of the night. And before Colton can like finish taking a drink of wine, Demi's like, can I steal you?
Oh, really? Before he even finishes?
He still had his glass up to his mouth when she was like, can I steal you?
And Tracy,
Which, whatever.
I mean, if Tracy was actually about to like steal him, which I hate the word steal,
Steal.
in this context, like if you're not that type of person to like go up and be forward and then you feel like you're about to do it,
Yeah.
you're gonna do it, and then someone else does
Oh,
it,
man.
that shuts you down so hard.
Oh man, I could see that would rub me the wrong way. Where I'm like, you didn't fucking give me a chance.
Yeah.
Like I was being like if you already like, I'm gonna be aggressive and I'm not gonna wait till partway through the evening to talk to him. I'm gonna get him first thing as soon as he's done taking a drink of wine.
But
I'm gonna get him.
And someone
she's
doesn't
like
wait.
halfway through his like a drink of wine.
Yeah.
Interrupts. Yeah, that would rub me the wrong way for sure.
Especially when you like built this up in your head and got amped up and everything.
Yeah. And okay, so I called it. Okay, we don't know for sure what's going to happen, but when the episode started, I was like, I'm calling Demi's the real villain.
Yeah. you did.
And like, yeah, we didn't see much of Catherine for her to be the villain.
No.
I think she was a night one villain.
She was-
like Chelsea was on Ari's season,
Yeah.
which I said before I thought was a possibility. And I don't remember if I said it to you, if I said it on the podcast, if I saw
you
it
said it.
outside.
I think you said
But
it.
yeah,
to me.
that she could just be like a night one villain.
Yeah.
But I think Demi is our like Crystal. Where night one, you're like, oh, she seems sweet, but I
Oh.
still thought she seemed a little bit off. But you knew immediately Crystal was bad news.
No, maybe that, but I just hated her voice.
You
It didn't
did.
matter.
And you hated how much she smiled. You hated everything about Crystal
I did.
immediately.
I hated how fake her smile was.
Because you were like, she's fake. I'm like, no, I think she's like, she does fitness videos, so she smiles a lot, and that's what she's used to. And I tried to defend her because I have the worst first impressions of people where I am always wrong. I am always wrong. Demi, I
Outside
did
of
have a feeling
Bachelor
about.
too?
Outside of Bachelor too.
Okay.
Yeah. So Demi, I kind of actually had a feeling that she might be the villain, but I was hesitant to say anything.
Sure.
Because I'm so wrong so often about people.
If I really paid attention to their first talk on the first night, maybe I would have figured that out.
She seemed fine, actually.
She really did seem fine.
Yeah.
From what I remember. But, okay. Yeah, you called it.
Yeah. So I think Demi's going to be the quote-unquote villain. I hope she's more like a Corinne villain than a Crystal villain. Because, like, Corinne, like, we got annoyed with her because she was immature, basically, was what it came down to.
Yeah.
But she was harmless. I think she just felt a lot of pressure from the camera.
Sure.
Crystal, I think, was a fucking lunatic during The Bachelor. I think she started to crack. Like, we saw her deteriorate, basically.
When they won the bowling thing, and then, something happened in that van.
She snapped.
Something happened in that van. Everybody was super uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And, she didn't, want to go to the date.
Yeah.
Afterwards.
And I don't know what happened, but I'm glad that she seems healthy and happy now.
Hopefully.
With what's-his-face.
At least she's not, at least from the... what's it called? Viewing parties?
Yeah.
She wasn't, I don't know if she even really talked, but she didn't sound like her.
No, she had, I think she had her normal voice, not
yeah.
her Ari season voice. She had her paradise voice.
Paradise voice. Ari season voice. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, Demi steals Colton. They talk for a little bit. They kiss, whatever. That part's not important. What's important, I think, unless you have notes about that.
Nope, nothing important there.
The important part is when Demi makes the fatal error of coming back and touching the sacred religious artifact known as the group date rose.
Mm-hmm.
And oh man, how could she? I don't even know why it's not enclosed in a glass case like it is on Beauty and the Beast, you know? Like, how can they just let that sit there on the table?
Mm-hmm. Tracy freaks out about... I think it's just so disrespectful that she just walked up and just picked up the rose.
Like, I couldn't breathe.
It took my breath away.
I felt sick to my stomach.
What?
I don't know. Maybe there's something we don't get about this.
Calm down. It's really not that... Maybe she shouldn't be doing it.
Maybe. But I get that maybe it's rude, but
who cares? It's a rose.
I get if you're like, she shouldn't have done that. If that was your reaction, she shouldn't have done that. But if you're like, it took my breath away.
So dramatic.
Which I think was Onyeka was I think when she was talking to Onyeka was trying to be a supportive person. Mm-hmm. So she's like, yeah. But I think she was like, yeah, that was rude. Not yeah, I can't fucking believe it. Yeah. You know, I think it was just kind of yeah, I see where you're coming from.
Yeah. I'm not gonna... You seem...
You want to confront her, sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So,
she does confront her about it.
She does. Let's go ahead and talk about that.
Okay. And what I thought, I think Tracy thinks that she set her straight. But I think all she really did was just very politely say that she may have offended some people. Mm. And maybe she said that she was offended herself, but I feel like she accomplished nothing. And Demi was just I don't care. Yeah.
So a couple of things here where we had some communication breakdown, I think. I have been working in communication classes recently, so I'm basically an expert.
Tell me about it.
So we have, this actually dates back farther than my communication classes. And once you find it out, you see it everywhere. But women are taught to be indirect in their language, right? With our everyday language from, basically any part of life where we are indirect. And sometimes you and I have a little bit of problem with that. When I say, would you like to get pizza for dinner? And you say, is that what you want? And in my head, I told you I wanted pizza by asking if you want pizza.
You didn't. You didn't.
Because women are taught to be indirect. And there's this like really classic example of, like a man and a woman are driving down the road or whatever. And the woman says, "Are you thirsty?" And he says, "No." And then she's upset. Cause she's like, "I'm thirsty. I told him I was thirsty."
Maybe whenever you say, "Can we get Indian food?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's go." That's my immediate response. If I want Indian, and you're like,
hey. No. Your immediate response is, "Sure."
Okay, sure.
Which is not a yes. It's a if you want it. Which is not what I want. I want to know if you want it. But I'm telling you I want it because I've told you I want it. By saying, "Do you want Indian food?" I'm telling you I want Indian food. No.
When you say, "Can we get Indian food?"
Yeah.
It means
for sure. That means I really want it.
I know. But when you say that, I know you want it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, when it's you not being direct and like, I know exactly what you want. And I'm like, yeah, let's go.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So like, yes, like words matter.
Well, there's a difference between do you want pizza
and
can we get pizza?
Because
can we get means I really want it. Like, I'm being so direct by asking if we can. So women have a more indirect way of speaking because we don't want to be a bother. We don't want to be a problem, right? And we don't realize it. This isn't a conscious decision we make. This is ingrained in our social constructs in our society. And again, I say women, I can only speak to American women. And obviously different regions of the United States have different ways of talking. So if you live in New York, you are going to be a more direct person.
Women might be different, huh?
For sure.
Like,
for sure.
All of our Swedish
gender constructs are different.
Listeners.
We have at least one, I think. They've come up.
Who is the European people that download our podcast?
That would be Olena, and I don't fucking know their names. What are you asking me?
No, but like who? But who are like what country?
I haven't checked the statistics. Do you want me to look it up right now?
But before.
What memory do you think I have?
One that can remember the country that in Europe that downloads our podcast. Maybe
England? Possibly the European side of Russia?
I'm pretty sure it was
a
non-English speaking country.
We had Madagascar for a little bit. Greece, I think.
Italy? I remember Italy.
Let me see. They've changed Podbean recently, so finding information is a little bit different than before. So I can't as easily pull it up.
That's okay.
My apologies.
That's okay. It was just for my own edification.
Yeah. I definitely remember Greece and England and Madagascar.
Okay.
And yeah, I can't find where they moved that information to.
That's okay. Yeah. So
so the communication breakdown. Yeah, so Tracy was being indirect. She was trying to be polite. She wasn't trying to be like aggressive. Mm-hmm. And so I think she was like, I don't know, I don't remember exact words, but I think it was something like, I think that some people may have been offended.
Very
and
indirect.
What she meant was I was offended.
Mm-hmm.
And guys, you got to learn this stuff.
She was being so
we learned how to talk like that. You can learn how to decode it.
But Demi didn't get. Oh, I mean, maybe she did get it, but she just still didn't care.
Demi said, yeah, about 7 times. She's like, yeah. Because she wasn't listening. She didn't fucking care. She wasn't listening.
No.
That was part of the other communication breakdown is Demi was, when she went into that conversation, she was ready to just not care. Mm-hmm. So she didn't listen. And so then she just ended it by saying,
like passively listening.
Yeah. She just said sorry at the end, but she didn't mean it. She was like, and I think it was more of a like, sorry that some people may have been offended, not sorry that I did anything, you know?
Same with,
because she wasn't.
What happened with Anyeka and Catherine.
Yeah, for sure. That really super passive aggressive conversation where like Catherine's like, sorry, and then goes and does it again.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm. And Elise is next.
Yes,
She was next?
Elise. Yeah.
I could just like body language, eye contact, body language. He seemed very okay. Well, I wrote down Elise seems to have his attention, and then at some point, Colton actually says that, "Oh, you have me intrigued." And I was like, "Shit, okay, yeah, that's a good word too."
I was really surprised by this
too.
interaction.
Okay,
and I think maybe Colton was surprised as well.
Was there conversation about age?
Yes.
Okay.
He basically said like he really liked the story she told.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if there was more to it that we didn't see, but like he basically made it clear that he didn't care about her age, and she was like, "I don't care about your age."
Yeah, she had like a real nice, like, you could be 25 and you could have gone through, you could have been dealt the worst hand, and you might actually have the maturity of an older person, or you can be a 31-year-old and have a pretty easy life, and you're not very grown up or whatever.
Yeah.
So like it was a good conversation of like the two, like making sense of them potentially hanging out more.
Yeah. I do want to say statistically, you are much more likely to have a good long-lasting relationship with a person your same age. The further apart your age is, the more likely you are to get divorced. Just a fun fact.
Okay.
Again, like, that doesn't mean you'll get divorced. You're just more likely to.
Yeah.
And Ryan and I are the exact same age, and we are very compatible. So I personally have started to lean into that idea.
Sure.
But yes, we also found out that there's Colton's cougar den for the 27 plus amongst them, which is pretty funny.
It's still like everyone older than him, right?
Yeah, because he's 26, so anyone older than him. And actually, his birthday's coming up, so he'll be 27 very soon.
Yeah, but when they filmed it, he was like probably just turned 26.
Yeah. Oh, no, because they film it in September, and his birthday's in January.
September, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I read it again today, so I feel pretty confident about that information.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, which brings me back real quick to conspiracy about Catherine, about her age. I skipped part of it.
Okay.
So she has an Instagram that was started in July, which is probably when she was casted for The Bachelor. Her old Instagram, which her twin sister had, Alexandra, I think is her name. There are posts where her twin sister had tagged her using her old Instagram, and it has been completely deleted.
Yeah.
So I would be interested to go to her twin sister's Instagram, which I didn't have time to do before today, and find out when timelines were for things.
For like,
because I'm wondering if Catherine deleted her previous Instagram because there was like incriminating evidence of her age. Again, this is a conspiracy, so it might be far-fetched.
Yeah, what are the chances that her twin sister, pretty good chance that her twin sister was at her birthday.
Right?
I mean, twin sister means like same age, right?
It does, yeah. So I want to do some investigating, and I'll get back to you guys next week, if I remember. Who knows?
Okay.
Okay, anyway, moving on.
Okay, before we move on, Demi I don't know if you caught it, but I caught it when like it happened, and I thought it was kind of funny. But when Demi came back and like picked up the rose, and they were talking about her time with Colton, and then they're like, "Did you talk about the kiss at the performance or whatever?" He was like, "Yeah, of course, he liked it." Duh, like that. I caught it, and then she also makes a face too.
Yeah, she kind of like rolls her eyes back and makes a derpy face.
I think it's so funny.
I also really like Demi's laugh. Did you like notice that during?
I mean, of course I noticed it, but like, liked it. I think it's funny.
So here's what I like about it is that there's no way that it's not genuine. Like that's her genuine laugh. That's her automatic response to something funny. Is that like a stupid laugh? I love natural laughs, like where you don't monitor it, you don't cover your mouth and like, try to do like a girly laugh or whatever. Or could it like you sound like what you sound like?
Yeah, it's so ugly though. Yeah, it has
it's so funny.
It has to be natural.
It's amazing.
It's like because I understand like having like even if it's not a good laugh, just like a regular laugh that's just like.
Yeah.
You know, like that's not weird. But hers is just so weird and funny sounding that it has to be natural.
I love it. Okay. We are 45 minutes in and I've not gotten past this first stage.
Let's go. Hannah G.
Hannah G. Okay.
She seems nervous.
Very telling to me that Colton told her, don't worry about the other women in the house.
Oh, she said that?
He said that to her. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I called it on the podcast or just to you, but I am saying Hannah G wins it.
I wouldn't be surprised. Okay.
I think to him, she's one of the only contestants.
You mentioned that, like, on Nick Vile's podcast where, Kelly told me this, that, like, he already knew, like, the handful of women that he was interested in. Everybody else just kind of had to wait until they were sent home. It's
like 4 to 6 women that he, like, was like, yeah, these are contestants, you know? And he knew from night one that he wanted to be with Vanessa. He wanted to give her the first impression rose, but then decided it would be too obvious. And so he gave it to Rachel, who he still like had a really easy conversation with and really enjoyed. Yeah. And like, I knew she was going to be going far, but he was into Vanessa immediately. Whereas like, there were so many women on there that he's like, I like them, but I'm not going to date them for real. Yeah. But he had to play the game because that's the show, that's the contract, you know, all that.
Yeah. So you think Hannah G's going to go pretty far?
Yeah. Last one standing. That's what I'm saying. And then Nicole gives us crazy talk about like she's ready to marry him and she doesn't need a ring or anything. And I don't fucking know. I don't know about that.
Was it serious?
I don't know. She was like laughing about it, but she was like, but no, really.
Oh, did she say that?
Yeah. I think it was that kind of thing where like you're saying what you mean, but you're laughing about it. Like it's a joke.
It sound like a joke.
Yeah.
But she talked about, I mean, I didn't.
You don't know this dude. I don't know. I thought it was Crazy Town. Go ahead. Sorry.
I didn't quite pick that up. I mean,
she said like, she literally said, I don't need a ring.
She did say something like that. Yeah. But she talked about her twin brother.
Yeah.
And then like,
I think Colton was into that.
Yeah. They bonded a little bit because of that. I don't know.
I think she'll stick around a couple more weeks at least.
Yeah, I think so too.
I don't think she'll do hometowns, but I think she'll stick around for a couple more weeks. I think he's intrigued at least by that story. Like she has a big heart and all that, you know?
Yeah. And then while Hannah G was with Colton, Demi was sitting in that booth spying on them.
Peeking over like fucking Kilroy.
Kilroy?
You ever do Kilroy?
No.
He's like looking over a fence.
Kilroy?
I can draw you Kilroy later. It was a thing I loved drawing as a kid.
Okay.
I don't know where I saw it. But like, it's just like him like looking over something. I don't know. I think they had that actually at Kilroy's bar. Like a little logo of Kilroy.
Oh, really?
At Kilroy's bar in Bloomington. Yeah. I don't know. Elise gets the group date rose, and like Demi is fucking crushed. Like she cannot believe it. And Nicole is crying. And Tracy's like, "What the fuck?" And like these aren't, you know, direct quotes, but
honestly, everyone thought they were gonna get the rose, and then at this point, I was like, "Wait!" Like everyone seemed upset about it, and I was like, "Hold on, is Colton more charming than we actually think he is?"
No, here's the thing. Okay, so. Maybe. But I think he's down to earth.
It's not even like, it's not even Stockholm Syndrome yet because it's only the second week.
No, I think he's down to earth. I think that they're like probably pleasantly surprised that he doesn't suck.
Okay.
You know? Like I think that's part of it.
They might.
And the other part is the only woman in this group that he actually wants to date is Hannah G. And so he's trying to not make it too obvious at this point in the game that she's the only one he's actually interested in. And so then he's trying to like, he's basically giving out the same vibes to everyone. So everyone thinks they have an equal chance with him. So that's what I think.
They expected or something.
Yeah. Where they were like, oh, he actually likes me. You know, or they were like, I didn't think he would like me. So like Elise, I was kind of surprised. I think Elise got slightly different vibes than other people, which is why like I'm putting her further up in my mental bracket than I would have otherwise. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think any of these women are going to be in week 4. Besides Hannah G.
Who else did he kiss other than
everyone? Didn't he? Didn't he kiss everyone?
I don't know.
I think he kissed everyone.
Did he kiss Elise?
He kissed 6 women this week. In our, like, of the 10 women that we chose for our fantasy league, he kissed 6 of them.
Oh.
So I don't know how many women he actually kissed out of the entire 23. Mm-hmm. But out of the 10 that we chose for our fantasy league, he kissed 6 of them.
Wow.
If you're not doing ABC Fantasy League, then that doesn't make sense to you. But if you are, then you know. Anyway.
One-on-one?
One-on-one. Hannah B.
Hannah B. Hannah-Bama.
Hannah-Bama.
Because she's from Alabama.
She's from Hannah-Bama. She's from Alabama. Where's Hannah G from, Ryan?
Alabama. We thought, like, oh, Hannah-Bama. Like, that's how we're going to remember which one that one is, because she was Miss Alabama?
Yeah, I was trying to give Ryan, like, a mnemonic device. I was like, oh, she's Miss Alabama. She's from Alabama. Hannah-Bama. Hannah B. And I was like, where's Hannah G is from?
Alabama.
Alabama.
So that doesn't work. Hannah G, what likes... What does she do?
I don't know. Hannah G likes glamping.
Glamping.
Hannah G likes
Hannah
glamping.
Glamping.
Glug.
Okay, Hannah B
goes
from
horseback
Alabama
riding.
Yep, goes horseback riding. It's so weird that they try to hold each other's hands while on the horse.
Right?
It's not a hand-holding activity.
We have learned this week by watching old episodes of Terrace House and by watching The Bachelor that horseback riding apparently is not the best date. It's not an interactive activity. You might be together, but you're not doing, like, you're doing the same thing at the same time, but you're not doing it together.
Yeah, especially if you're on a trail. Imagine, like, being on a date where on a hike and the person's walking in front of you the whole time. Mm-hmm. And so, like, you're constantly, like, either having to turn your neck around to talk to them or talking to nobody and, like, them having a hard time hearing you because you're talking forward away from them. And
I remember, I've only been horseback riding twice, both times on trails. And the first time, I just remember my legs getting cut up by the random twigs and bushes on the sides of the trail. And so it's not a great date. Just for anyone looking for a good date activity. This isn't
shorts?
I was wearing capris and flip-flops. Okay? Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, so they go horseback riding and then a hot tub. And
hot tub. And the whole time they could, when they finally got to, what's it called? In the middle of nowhere, wherever they were.
It's called the desert.
Middle of nowhere. When they were trying to, like, but they were in LA, right? So, yeah. I mean, LA is basically a desert, right?
It all is, I think.
And he's like, let's do a toast. And he already had a toast totally prepared.
He should have let her go first.
I hate that. I hate that Win sometimes makes people do toasts. And it's like, it's awkward.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
If you want to do it, do it. You want to have us toast every single time? You toast every single time. I don't care.
Sure.
I just want to drink.
Sure.
I want to hang out with my friends.
Yeah.
I don't need a fucking toast.
No.
Anyways, but he puts her on the spot, and I would have fucking hated that.
Yeah. If you have your toast prepared, then you let her go first because you've already thought of a bunch of ideas, and you are more equipped to go second than she is.
I feel like that, and then also if you go first, you also give them some like ideas.
It could be an example. So you can ask, would you like me to go first?
Mm-hmm.
Right? But you don't just do your toast and say, okay, you have to go toast now too.
Yeah. I think that was kind of rude.
So you're like, to the date, to the evening, to the bachelor, to us being together today. And then it's like, you took everything. What am I supposed to say?
I know,
To the fucking desert? Like, what?
But
to horses and their backs.
It was pretty awkward how she could not think of anything.
Nothing. She could think of fucking nothing.
She said something like, some good words, some good words that sound good together. They're real. The real words. Something like that. She said that.
Roll Tide. Yeah, and she was real focused on the fact that
she said that.
She did at the end.
Oh, did she?
She said Roll Tide at the end.
Oh, okay.
She was really focused on the fact that it was her birthday. Like, she brought it up so many times during the date.
I'm sure the producers wanted
so
her
many
to bring
times.
it up a bunch of times.
So many times.
Especially when it started getting better. Because it was not going well for a while.
No.
Hot tub, and it was just...
That awkward eyelash thing?
Oh, yeah. That was not...
Like the eyelash on his cheek where she got like real intense about it instead of cutesy.
Mm-hmm.
That was weird.
Mm-hmm. It could have been turned into something at least a little bit romantic.
Yes, it could have.
But it was just like, hold on, stop moving. Let me get this. And she like got it off of him like a mom would. Yeah.
So here's some thoughts I have about Hannah B. So this is actually more overarching of every contestant ever on The Bachelor, where they think that they are very unique in not being able to open up easily.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, that's societal. And I think I've mentioned this before, where it's like, sure, like you meet a person and you don't just immediately tell them every single detail of your intimate life.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a normal thing. But when you're on The Bachelor, you have such little time with that person. You have to.
Yeah.
Like, again, using a term from the communication class that I'm helping in, self-disclosure. Like, we learn how to monitor our self-disclosure and what's appropriate to say to people. So we don't just go up to someone and say, I have diarrhea. Right? Like, that's not a thing that we do.
Not in the U.S.
Not in the U.S. I have students that send me emails like, I can't come to class. I have diarrhea. And I'm like, cool. Whereas like we might say like, my stomach doesn't feel well.
I have
or just like, I
bug.
feel under the weather.
Yeah.
Right? Like some people are even weird about saying it's stomach. Right? They're like, oh, people get like images about throwing up or whatever, or like poop or whatever. So they might just say, I feel under the weather. I don't feel well. Right? Like we learn how to monitor how much information we give to people.
Yeah.
And so like we often start with the superficial stuff of like demographics, you know, where you're from, your education, your age, your general background.
I feel like that's a good
and then you might
start,
get into like
usually.
Interests. Like that'd be the next layer, is like your interests, your goals,
Mm-hmm.
That seems like another thing, a good place to go on a first date. But on The Bachelor, your first date has to go to the inner layer of like your deep-seated fears. I have a fear of abandonment because my father left me when I was 5 years old. Like that kind of thing.
Yeah, you definitely have. Maybe you can start out at the beginning, but you gotta move fast.
So fast. Yeah. And we don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And so like everyone's like, I have trouble opening up. It's like, no, this is a first date. Like the way you feel is normal right now, but you're not in a normal environment.
Yeah, I don't think my first dates usually go very well.
No.
Because you...
Oh, I thought you say far, but you said well.
Well or far.
I haven't been on a first date with you in a while. I don't know if we ever really had a first date.
Not really.
The other thought I have about Hannah B is she kind of mentioned she had low self-esteem, and her like one of her things about opening up was like her need to be perfect. And like Colton actually pointed that out about her, like to her. She's like, I feel like you need to be perfect. And for anyone who feels like they need to be perfect, or has low self-esteem, I highly recommend the book Mindset by Carol Dweck. It's amazing. I feel like Hannah B would really benefit. Really, you can listen to like 2 chapters and you get the whole idea of the book. I made the mistake of listening to like half of it. I say listen because I don't read, so you can get a book on tape, or you could read it, whatever's up your alley. If you listen to the whole book or read the whole book, I feel like you're wasting a lot of time because she just repeats the same thing with different categories.
Different
business,
stories.
sports, education, like all these things. But the overall thing you can get from the introduction, I think. You just go to the library, read it while you're there, the first chapter, and then go home. And you get the idea of it, but it helps so many aspects of your life.
Okay.
Anyway, moving on. Sorry. I have another thought, but I've been talking for 7 minutes straight, so I feel like it's your turn to say something. Ryan's making the best face right now. He's real confused about his notes.
No, it's the
time or space.
It's the old people looking at the computer face.
Oh, it is. Yeah, that's what that is.
So because
you're looking at your bifocals on the bottom.
Bifocals, and
bottom
my
part
mouth
of
is
your
open a little bit,
glasses.
and like I'm focusing. Well, anyway, eventually what Colton had to say was exactly what Hannah needed to hear.
Yes.
And so she started opening up a little bit more. And
I like that he figured her out, though. Honestly,
yeah,
like that's
actually,
a layer of Colton I hadn't expected.
It is, but
it's not a deep layer, but it's a layer.
Maybe it was producers, though.
Oh, dude, yeah, probably. I think they're feeding him a lot this. I was gonna say quarter because I work in a school this season.
Yeah, maybe. But I mean, he eventually has to be the one that says the things.
Yeah.
So at least he's doing a pretty good job conveying that he cares enough.
Sure. Yeah.
Even if he doesn't know that's exactly what's going on, is that he at least is able to express those ideas well enough to think that Friday, come here.
Our dog is playing with the toy. I don't know if you can hear it in the background, but Ryan's trying to prevent that.
That and enough to like make her feel better about herself.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, I don't know how you felt about this part of it, but Hannah B conveying that she has guilt about basically already quote unquote losing her virginity. That she's not a virgin anymore. She can't give it to her future spouse.
Yeah. And like, I guess in this situation that like, it would be pretty uneven. Like, it's not, it really isn't uneven, but at least like, I can see how someone might think it's uneven that he is giving this, you can say gift or whatever, when you aren't reciprocating. But it's just like, well, what about the first person that you slept with or something like that?
God. So virginity on a pedestal, I find to be such a weird concept as a grown-ass adult. When you're a teenager, like, I can see why it's like such a big deal.
Yeah.
But like when you're an adult, I don't see why you care anymore. Like, okay, I don't know our demographics of this podcast, so I don't know what age people are listening to. But if you are, for some reason, a teenager or an otherwise virgin listening to this podcast, like, I don't know about you personally, Ryan. I almost never think about the person I lost my virginity to or the act of losing my virginity or anything. Like, as you get older, it becomes such a small part of your life.
Yeah.
Where it's like you just move on from that. But also, like, it's great if the person you lose your virginity to virginity is like a social construct. It's like almost not at all biological.
You don't lose anything.
Like, no, it's like, for men, you lose nothing. Nothing happens to you. Women, you like, your hymen might pop, or maybe you already popped it from horseback riding or tampons or bicycling or whatever. There's so many things, or masturbation. Like, there's so many things that could end up like popping your hymen that like, it could mean nothing for anyone. But whatever. I'm going to say lose your virginity because that's the term that we have. It's great if it can happen with someone you're in love with. That's awesome.
Sure.
But like, it doesn't have to, and there's no reason to regret or have guilt about whatever.
How is getting your first kiss by someone you don't like or you didn't love any different than like losing your virginity?
And I mean, losing your virginity, I mean, like, sex is more intimate than kissing.
Oh, yes.
It is.
It is, but like, it is just an act that's like, it doesn't really mean anything other than like the possibility of getting pregnant.
Yeah.
But, it's just like, just like how some people have put like, ooh, what's her name? That never been kissed?
Heather.
That it just never happened, you know? And like, now it is on this pedestal on her, like, even though like on the contrast that Colton has his virginity on the pedestal. So it's like, what's the fucking difference? And all the other women have kissed, have had sex. So like, who fucking cares?
I mean, if your first time having sex was consensual, that should be all that matters. You know? And it's like, it might not have been ideal, right? Maybe it was in the backseat of a car and you're like, I really wish it would have been in bed or whatever. But very few instances of our lives are ideal. Yeah. But for some reason, we tend to focus on that one. And maybe this is coming from from a person who, like, I mean, it was my boyfriend. It was in a bed. You know, it wasn't planned, but it happened and it was fine, you know? And I I don't know if I'd be speaking differently if I'd had a different experience. But I just have a problem with this conversation they had where she said she felt guilty that she can't give her future husband her virginity.
Yeah.
And it's like, it doesn't matter. And I'm not religious, and I don't know if that makes a difference, or like, I don't know what factors would make a difference, but I really feel like it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I mean,
It was a long rant.
I don't think it matters either.
Yeah.
But
Baby, I don't know if I ever told you, I wasn't a virgin before we had sex. I know. Shock.
Oh no. Okay, well, she gets the rose. There were fireworks. Surprise.
She seemed actually surprised that there were fireworks, and I don't think she's ever seen this show before.
Ever. Okay, group date 2. I have Kirpa, Cassie, Kaylin, Heather, Tasia, Sydney, Nina, Katie. Anybody else?
Is that all you had, baby?
Are there more?
I don't know. Okay, I'm just gonna read them.
Yeah.
Because obviously,
Yeah.
you can't keep up.
Nicole.
Alex B, Erica,
Hannah G.
Kate.
Yeah.
Can I go?
Yeah, you can go.
Okay. Alex B, Erica, Katie, Caitlin, Heather, Sydney, Tasia, Nina, Kirpa, Cassie, and Courtney. Courtney is out of order. I will tell you. Courtney, I know, is out of order.
Oh,
she is the one that owns her catering business. She's short and she's spunky and she's black and she has like really long hair. It might be artificial, but I don't care. She looks really cute.
Was she sent home?
She was on the yellow team, so she was sent home.
Was she sent
Not
home?
sent home. No. Not sent home. She was sent away from the group date, but she was not sent home.
Okay. So they did group camp.
Yeah.
Summer camp.
Yeah, which started out like real fun and cute and everyone's having a real great time. And fucking Chris Harrison comes in and he's like, we're going to have a, quote, friendly competition, end
It's
quote.
not very friendly.
No.
If people have to go home.
You are competing for time with your man.
Have to leave camp.
Yeah.
You got expelled from summer camp.
I'm tired of this bullshit. We don't need high stakes situations in a time when you only see this person for a couple hours a week.
Seriously.
You don't. Like, that's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
They tried this with Ari's, one of Ari's group dates, the bowling group dates, and it did not go well.
No.
I don't know what they didn't
really
learn from that.
Didn't. Well, they were probably hoping for the same drama.
It fucking stupid. It pissed me off.
Mm-hmm.
It really did. Because you're just toying with these. These are people.
Yeah.
These are people with emotions. And you're just toying with them.
You're saying that, like, just because they're able to tug-o-war better, that they get to spend more time, they get something.
Does Colton approve these activities?
Probably not.
I don't know what sadists are coming up with this stuff.
Yeah, he's probably just like, okay, that sounds good.
Bullshit.
I mean, Ari at least was like, no, this is...
Ari was like, yeah, we should actually let them come on the group date. And then people who like won were like mad about it or whatever. They're like, that's not fair. No. Shut.
Yeah, one person was especially like that. Most other people were just like, oh, fine.
If I were on the winning team, I legitimately think I'd be like, yeah, that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason they should be going home right now.
Yeah, like the more, I mean...
Because we're better at bowling, we get to hang out with you for longer. Like,
Yeah.
that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But I also tend to be an overly empathetic person, which is why I cry at everything. So their special guest for this date, I do. Their special guest was also on the date. He was on the date. Was Billy Eichner.
Mm-hmm. So pretty
great
random.
comedian.
Just like how, I mean, a little less random because
That's true. Did they just
Nick
like
Offerman-
contact Parks and Rec and like, who do you have?
Yeah. Maybe they just, oh no, they must have came out with their box set a long time ago.
What was this? Like, all of these people have been on Parks and Rec.
But I mean, man, I cannot talk. Nick Offerman and Megan Mullally are a little less random because they are married. They have a successful marriage.
Oh, sure.
I don't think Billy Eichner is married.
He is single. I know this because of Twitter.
Okay.
Because he said, but seriously, a gay bachelor would be great. Also, I'm single. Or something like that.
But yeah, he's pretty random.
He is pretty random.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would be surprised to find out that if he actually watched this show, you know?
Yeah. I think he made several indications that he doesn't watch it.
Which is fine. They just probably paid him well.
Yeah.
You know? And he's like, I'm not doing anything. Difficult People is canceled, so, you know.
Difficult People.
I've just been doing theater in New York, probably.
Yeah, what did he say?
That's how Nick Offerman and Megan Mullally met. If you're not familiar with their love story, they met doing theater together in New York.
Oh.
Oh, so cute.
In New York.
In New York.
So stinky. It's so stinky.
We went during the winter, so when I went with you, it was during the winter, so it wasn't very stinky.
It wasn't very stinky at all, which is actually a good thing to consider about going there next time.
It was also fucking cold.
Oh yeah, it was freezing, but like fall.
Oh, fall might be nice.
Yeah.
Trees changing in Central Park.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, red team wins. Yellow
Red team wins.
Actually goes home.
Which
Sucks.
I really thought they were gonna like take it back and be like, okay, actually, like these girls should get to sleep closer to Colton or something like that. I don't know. I thought they were gonna they actually sent them home.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I bet the producer was like,
"This sucks."
Oh my god, he's actually sending them home.
You had a choice, Colton. We had enough cabins. You saw them all earlier. Okay, so I only have a couple of notes from the rest of the date.
I wrote, yeah, that sucks, baby, because you're like, man, that sucks. And I was like, yeah, that sucks, baby.
I was real passionate about it.
I did say that out loud, too. I didn't just type it. Okay, reward, overnight camping.
Yeah.
Katie kiss. Kaylin kiss. Heather confesses about no kisses.
Yeah, so Katie and Colton, like, they're vibing.
They're vibing
real hard.
But, like, they talked about the exact same things that they talked about the first night. About, like, their values and how their
They talked about family, but they talked about, like, competitiveness specifically in the family and how that, like, takes away from you focusing on your own happiness. Which is a different conversation, I think.
That is a different conversation. But, yeah. I think half of it was also the same conversation they already had. But, okay. But yeah, that is a much different conversation. But yeah, I think they are connecting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Heather told Colton that she's never been kissed. Right? And so I don't know if she'll get her first kiss on the show or not, but I really hope not. Because he has just kissed so many women so far that I feel like your first kiss, like, if you've waited till you're 22 to have your first kiss, like, it obviously means a lot to you. And
but should it?
It shouldn't.
Now it should.
But now it should. If you've waited that long for it, it might as well be this big romantic thing.
When
whatever.
Should you? I mean, my first kiss wasn't great. Was your first kiss great?
Yeah.
Was it the most ideal?
Yeah, I mean, it was a boyfriend.
Uh-huh.
So I feel like that's great.
Yeah.
It was a boyfriend. I was just like sitting on his lap in his room and I kissed him. And like we made out for a bit.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's fine. That's a good first kiss.
Yeah, I mean,
he's a shitty ass human being, but it was a good first kiss.
Okay. Okay, because my first kiss was I was laying in bed with my girlfriend at the time, so sure, it's still good. But like we made out, which is really weird for people that have never kissed before.
Oh, my first kiss was making out.
Yeah, but isn't I think that's weird.
Oh,
not weird for you, but at least it was weird for us because we were like, at that point, we were like, I don't think we're ready for this. Like it was just like we went from like holding hands and hugging and stuff to like making out instead of just like kisses. You know,
mine was an online boyfriend, so it was the second time I ever met him. But it felt fine.
Okay.
I'm sorry yours was awkward.
It was a little awkward. It eventually was fine, but it was just that first one where we were just like, maybe we should like not take a step back, not date other people or whatever, but it was just like, that was a little bit too much.
But you'd like kissed on the cheek and stuff. Like you'd had faces close to each other before.
Probably. I don't know.
If you were laying in bed, I would think you'd kissed on the cheek before.
I don't remember.
Because I know I'd kissed like previous boyfriends on the cheek.
I don't remember, honestly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways.
How old were you?
14.
Me too. Cute.
What if it was the same day?
It might have been. Was it in a February?
No.
Okay.
It was like November or October.
Anyway. So, okay. Kaylin
Kaylin.
Mm-hmm. She works with kids as a volunteer, like as a job or like something, because she almost died when she was a child.
Well, she's Miss North Carolina, so she goes to the hospital a lot. I
thought her advocacy, I thought I had heard from Ashley Spivey, the previous Bachelor contestant. I thought I'd heard from her that Kaylin's focus for her advocacy was domestic violence or women's violence.
Okay.
But maybe she also visits children.
Yeah.
But I guess it's like a little passion project for her because she almost died when she was a kid of like, I didn't catch the exact name. It was like maybe like a brain bacteria or something. It definitely seemed like something with a brain. Syphilis?
Cephalitis.
What's that?
The swelling of the brain.
Okay. So she almost died when she was 2. And then when she didn't die, they're like, well, there's a 10% chance she's going to walk again. And then like...
She's walking.
She's fine.
Yeah,
she's great.
I think they were just bad doctors.
So now that we have talked about Hannah B and we've talked about Kaylin, should we talk about their little rivalry?
Yeah. I mean, from what's her name? Kaylin?
Mm-hmm.
She said that there is a side of Hannah B that like we just haven't seen before. So I was like, oh, we're totally going to see that side of her on this date somehow in some way. But she was just shy.
Yeah. Because she said that they were really good friends. They were close. She used the word close. They were close friends. Until she became...
Don't believe
until
her.
Kaylin became like runner-up for Miss USA or whatever.
I don't believe her until...
Okay. That's fair.
Hannah B says it, that they were actually close.
Okay.
Because I feel like she could have been just...
I mean, Hannah B was shit-talking Kaylin, but to Hannah G. But I don't recall exactly what she was saying, but basically, like, I don't trust her. So I don't know how... she didn't say anything about how they had been close or anything.
Okay.
So we at least know that they have known each other.
But then, they don't
I feel like...
They at least, at the moment, do not get along.
This
moment in the show.
I wonder... I'm like trying to think, like, the person who's most at fault, if she might say, we were really good friends, where she had this, like, really skewed perception of the other person. I don't know. Yeah, I honestly don't know what to think about this thing. What I do know, not from spoilers, just from experience with The Bachelor and Bachelorette, what I feel in my gut is a 2-on-1.
Oh, gosh.
With Kaylin and Hannah B. Right? Am I wrong? It's going to be a 2-on-1.
Probably.
Yeah.
You're like setting it up. Unless another rivalry comes up, then yeah, that's probably what's going to happen.
It's classic. Classic.
You see me smiling a second ago?
No.
Okay. It's me thinking that like we've had this pink blanket on our dining room table for over a week.
For the entire week, yeah. I was like, it's our podcast setup right now. Until someone comes over to our house, this is our podcast table.
So pink.
We got this like pink fuzzy blanket for Christmas. Yeah, from one of Ryan's family members. And we legitimately don't know which one because I don't think it had a name on it.
It's probably my parents.
Yeah. And
it's super soft. It's so fucking soft. We have
it's so
we
soft.
have like 2 others, ones that are just like it. We love it, and I will use this blanket even if like I don't know. I'll use this blanket, but it covers our dining room table while we're podcasting. Yeah,
for podcasting, you want as few like solid surfaces for sound to bounce off of as possible. So blankets are a good way to absorb that sound.
Yeah.
So we're at a dining room table, so we put a blanket down to absorb the sound.
And it's pink.
It's very pink.
It's super pink.
It's as pink as Kaylin's shirt in her bio profile picture.
Just about.
But yeah, I think there's gonna be a 2-on-1, which is why I was thinking about my top 4 today. My final 4.
Okay.
And I was like, man, I can't put Kaylin and Hannah B both in there because one of them's gonna go home on a 2-on-1.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
It's so messed
up. I'm leaning Hannah B right now.
I'm leaning Hannah B as well.
Because we don't really have much evidence of a connection between Kaylin and Colton besides this group date time that they had.
Which was pretty short.
It was pretty
short.
At
least from what we saw, it wasn't that much.
Yeah. I also... sorry, the dog distracted me. I'm trying to get my train of thought back. together. Oh, so I did a little bit of research on, since we have been watching the show, who gets the first date, the first one-on-one, and how far that person goes.
Okay.
So next season, it was Danielle M.
Oh, she went kind of far.
She made it to week 5. I think went home.
D-Lo.
No, not D-Lo.
No, I know. D-Lo was the other Danielle. So,
Yeah.
like, Danielle M?
Yeah.
Danielle
She's the
M.
one that was like interested in Wells on Bachelor in Paradise.
Yeah.
Yeah,
one,
blonde hair.
She was chosen over someone else that... Was it Astrid that got stranded on the island?
That was Astrid and Whitney were on that date together. And I was
Oh.
like, I can't tell the difference because I don't know which one's which. Obviously now I know Astrid and I love Astrid. You know, her and Kevin are super cute. So Danielle M, I mean, she made it halfway through. And then the next season was Rachel's season. Her first date was Peter.
Yeah, he went final 2.
Final 2, yeah. Next season was Ari. Ari's first date was Becca K. So Becca.
She won.
The Becca, right? She won. Next season was Becca. Her first date was Blake, which was final 2.
Final 2?
Yeah. It came down to Blake proposed to her. And she was like, oh, sorry, I'm choosing Garrett. This is awkward.
Did he really?
He proposed to her. I don't know if he actually officially got down on one knee or if he was just motioning to that, but he was proposing to her, that he was doing that speech, a proposal speech.
Okay.
Yeah. So Blake was her first one-on-one. And so Hannah B was Colton's first one-on-one. So
Okay.
obviously that means something.
It must mean something.
So I'm going to put her in my final 4, which we'll come back to.
Okay.
Anyway, cocktail party.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
So Courtney.
Well, also, Heather got the first impression rose.
Oh, yes. Thank you. I forgot to write that down. Heather got the first impression rose. Courtney, if you were watching like Colton's like toast at the beginning of the cocktail party, you see Courtney from like a back side angle where it just looks like she's wearing a satin blanket.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it is bonkers. It's just everything is to the floor, sleeve, dress, everything to the floor, past the floor, and it's just silver and satin. And then it looks a little bit better when you see it from the front, and it's like, you know, off like one sleeve, and you're like, okay, there's like dimensions to it at least, and like you can see like how it like contours her cleavage, like it looks nice on her chest, but not my top
Like
choice
the
for
overall
a dress.
Part of it. No.
She's cuter than that dress, I think.
Okay.
And then when she talked to him, she was like off the wall talking to him. It was like
real fast.
it was like when Sloth took off the costume.
And suddenly it was the opposite of a sloth.
Yeah. Like Courtney was just like, oh, I have a and like for 5 minutes, and then Colton's like, yeah, me too. You know.
Yeah. The next thing I wrote down is Sydney and Onyeka. So Sydney and Colton were talking.
Sydney had gotten in her head about not having enough time with Colton.
Yeah.
Because she was on the yellow team, so she got sent home.
Right, but I thought that...
Not home, right, but yeah.
To
go
the
ahead.
mansion.
Yeah.
And I thought they were, like, getting into something.
Yeah.
And then suddenly Onyeka comes out with a fucking bullhorn. And just like, that's such an asshole thing to do.
So rude. So
Like,
fucking
there's
rude.
no doubt about it. It wasn't cute. It wasn't an entrance. It was just fucking rude.
Yeah, and I thought I was going to love Onyeka. Again, I have terrible first impressions of people. But, like, I saw her biopic, and I was like, she's fucking cute. I like her. I like her a lot. She's going to have a good personality. And I don't like her personality.
Like, I think she might be
she's abrasive.
Yes, exactly. And she might be like, you know, she might be normally like a 6 or a 7 or 8, which is like in terms of energy. And like,
energy.
That's
Okay.
great. But then like, she's like, maybe I gotta like be more. And so she's being an 11 right now.
Yeah, maybe she's just like amped
And
up.
then she's just, like, she's kind of, I don't know, kind of like Jasmine to like, I gotta make sure I make an impression and whatever.
maybe.
And like, it just seems, but she's just coming off as an asshole.
Yeah, she needs to chill.
Yeah.
She needs to chill.
Like, you don't need to do that to other women. You don't need to blow a whistle right next to them and call them a bitch.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Whistles and bullhorns are not needed on The Bachelor, period.
Yeah.
Like, unless maybe at summer camp, bullhorns would be fine.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, outside. I mean, like, they were literally, like, in a doorway.
2 feet away.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Yeah. It just seemed like a lack of consideration to me. Like, if you want to interrupt, okay, that's part of the game. But you don't need that.
Mm-hmm. And then Sydney retaliates, which was not a good way of reacting to
No, it was immature, it was petty, and like, I understand you got interrupted and it sucks, but
it sucks, and like, what she did was super fucking rude.
Mm-hmm.
But like, what she did, like, was also very annoying.
Yeah. Yeah, Sydney did not need to come back like that. She could have done the thing where she's like, all right, I'm gonna give you 3 minutes, I'm gonna come back. And like interrupt. Like, sorry, I didn't finish my conversation. You know, you can do that. You don't need a noisemaker. You don't need to do what she did.
Or like, you could have grabbed him later.
Yeah.
Like, unfortunately, yes, you're like grabbing him for a second time, but like obviously they were right in the middle of something. I don't know how long they were talking, but you know, they were in the middle of something, and like, it would make sense that like Colton was like, yeah, actually, yeah, let's talk again.
Yeah. That sucked.
Yeah, it sucks.
And then there's this whole thing where like, Demi,
I'm sure Sydney's not normally like that. Sorry, that's all.
No, go ahead.
And like, this is just like bringing out the petty side of her.
I think she's probably normally a shy person, so it took like a lot of energy for her to go talk to Colton. A lot of spoons for her to go talk to Colton and like interrupt probably I think she had to interrupt someone else for that conversation. And so then, you know, I just don't think she reacted appropriately. I don't think anyone reacted appropriately to anything at any point in time.
Oh boy.
So Demi interrupts Tracy while Demi's wearing a bathrobe and says that she wants to show Colton her quote fantasy closet. Whatever. And then she gives him a quote massage. She touched him. She touched him on the shoulders.
It was like, yeah, she would like graze her hand against his back.
Does this feel good? Does this relieve your tension?
I can get used to this. He was being so nice.
Colton's a nice guy. I don't think he wants to hurt people's feelings.
Yeah.
But Tracy got like real upset about this. And again, I think it's just Demi has rubbed her the wrong way. And I think if it were someone else, it would have been a very different reaction.
Yeah.
I'm not defending Tracy. Tracy, for someone who claims to be like a wardrobe stylist, has the worst style of anyone on the show.
Yeah, like whatever she's doing with her hair, it's not fitting her face.
Hair's not great. And what is with that 80s blazer? You don't need shoulder pads like that. You don't. You're not Inspector Gadget. You're not the bad guy from Despicable Me 3 or whatever it is. You don't.
Groot.
Not Groot. I mean, he has shoulders too, but there's like a guy who's like an 80s guy. I think he's voiced by Sacha Baron Cohen.
No.
Cohen?
Steve Carell.
That's who voices Gru. Yeah.
Gru.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you. I like Despicable Me. It's a really good show.
What's your favorite movie?
It's probably my favorite cartoon. I'm not a big fan of cartoon movies, but I really like
favorite movie
of all time ever. Anyway, Tracy like shuts herself in a room to cry, and Demi comes in and she's like, sorry you're upset, but like get over it, basically. Right? Am I wrong?
Pretty much. Okay. Yeah. And that didn't help at all.
And she's like, and then to the camera she's like, I don't care what old people think, they're not doing themselves any favors by being old. Right? Like, she just is so obsessed with how old other people are.
She's really, I don't know.
She's really
she's
young,
not here
and
to
I don't
make friends.
She's not. She is not here to make friends. She's 23, but I'm gonna say like she's young, and I don't mean young as an age, because we also have like Hannah G, who I think is also 23. Yeah, she's also 23. And we have a lot of 23-year-olds in the show, as other people have pointed out. Hannah B is also 23.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Courtney is 23. There's other people who aren't on the show anymore that are 23. Kaylin is 23. Cassie's 23. But Demi is the youngest by maturity level.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Like, even, what's her name? The one, Heather. Not Heather.
Yeah, Heather's 22, and I still think Demi's younger than Heather,
Yeah,
maturity-wise.
She acts like she's 19.
Yes. Yes.
Maybe 17.
Young college person.
Maybe 17.
Maybe. Yeah. And I'm going to guess she didn't come from a house with a lot of structure.
That and, structure. She could do whatever she wants.
Maybe an only child.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
So this week, the people going home. Are we ready for that?
Yeah. I don't think there's
Angelique
else.
and Annie both went home, and neither of them had a date, which means Colton was not even pretending that he liked them.
Yeah.
Which sucks that he even kept them around at all.
Yeah.
Because he just wasted, like, their time.
Yeah. They say a week, but probably just a couple days.
Probably, yeah. Alex, who is the dog rescuer, and Erica, who is McNutt, which I don't think made a great first impression, because night one, she's like, do you remember my name? Which is like a really rude thing to say, because he just had to meet 30 fucking women.
Yeah.
And you have like a basic white girl name.
Mm-hmm.
So like, whatever. I know Erica's not exclusive to white people. Sorry. But, and then like Alex, I kind of feel bad for her because like night one, she couldn't really talk to him because she was sick. And then she was on the yellow team. So she went home. I think she was on the yellow team.
Who was Alex?
Nope. She was on the red team. So she had more time with him. She was the dog rescuer.
Oh.
She has eyebrows.
I remember dog rescuer.
Her eyebrows really stand out to me.
Okay.
But yeah, she went home. She was a Canadian.
Yeah. And then Heather, Hannah B, Elise were safe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure I'm missing a lot. There's Nicole, Demi, Kirpa, Hannah G, Catherine.
What is this order that
Bree,
you have?
Sydney, Anyeka, Katie, Nina, Tracy.
What is this order, and why did you leave out half the women? Ryan.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
I'm just gonna say who goes home, because it's taking way too much time to correct who stays.
I really need to work on, like, once they start saying women's names, I need to just, like, instantly start typing.
Yeah, you do.
Because I feel like, oh man, it started. I just go off memory.
Kelly's getting it.
Yeah, she's getting it.
Yeah, the people who went home were Angelique, Annie, Alex, and Erica. And Angelique didn't get any airtime, so if you don't remember her, I'm not surprised. She's gorgeous. But she looks like an R&B singer. And like she could
like
easily
Brandy.
be singing with Brandy. Yeah. I really like Angelique, and I wish she would have gotten more airtime. I thought Annie was going to go further because she's this like sweet down home kind of woman.
Was it that second one?
This one. She has like a little southern accent a little bit because she's not actually southern. She's from Wisconsin, so she's like a little bit of an accent.
Mm-hmm.
Then she moved to New York because she's a financial
So literally
associate.
like the ones with all the A's alphabetically.
Yeah,
Like,
he just took out the first row of women.
so he's going alphabetically, obviously.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah.
So I have... Okay, so I was really trying to think of Final Four predictions.
Uh-huh.
I think we should lock them in next week.
Okay.
That's before they leave the United States, you know? Because next week will be their, like, probably out of their mansion date.
Out of their
I think.
mansion, but still in the U.S. probably.
Yeah. But I can't think of a fourth woman that he has a strong connection with. So I feel like I can do, like, my fantasy suite guesses right now.
Okay.
I think fantasy suites are going to be Hannah G, Hannah B, and Katie. And I just don't have a fourth person to put in for hometowns because we usually do Final Four. But I just don't think there's another strong player right now.
Demi?
I don't know. She might. So, like, I have, like, my, like, people who I think could be that fourth person. And it's Demi, Cassie.
I like Cassie.
Yeah, I know you do, which is part of the reason why she's in there. And Elise, surprisingly, has jumped up in there. So it could be...
Who's Elise?
She's the 31-year-old.
Oh, Elise.
Yeah.
I was thinking with an A, and I was like,
No, I get it. Every time I hear it, I think it's somebody else. Yeah. Elise, Cassie, or Demi, I think, could be that fourth person for hometowns. But I don't know, because I don't think any of them are going to get the final rose. Like, I don't think he's going to propose to any of them.
Yeah. I don't think Elise is going to be.
No. But it could be, she could be hometowns.
Yeah.
I don't know. Which would be Alaska, which would be kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. In September, so.
Well, by that time, November.
Depends where. Juneau? Did she say Juneau?
I don't know. I just have Alaska. That's all I have. Yeah. So do you have any predictions right now?
Okay, I think Demi...
You can change them up to next week.
I think Demi's going to go pretty far. Hannah G...
Final four?
Maybe.
Okay. I'm just going to write down what you're saying right now, and we can fix it later.
Yeah. Okay, put Demi for now. Hannah G, Cassie, and... Can I look at the photos?
Yeah.
I'm gonna... Katie is pretty good. I think Nicole's gonna keep going, but not...
I think she'll probably make it... I don't know if she'll leave the U.S., maybe? Honestly. I don't know. She might go home next week. I'm gonna
say Tasia.
Tasia? I like Tasia.
I haven't seen much of her, but hopefully...
I want to see more of her.
We'll see.
I mean, I personally like Tasia.
She did the whole, like, fair thing. And that was cool.
Tasia Land, and,
like, I mean, I don't know if she had any... Well, she probably had very little to do with it, but...
That's true.
But she thought of it.
So you have Demi, Hannah G, Cassie, and Tasia.
Yeah.
You feel good about those right now?
For now, yeah.
Okay. We'll revisit these next week.
Okay.
Any final thoughts, my dear?
I don't think so.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay, cool. Well then, feel free to rate, review, and subscribe.
Please.
We are on Twitter at Roses in Thorns Pod.
N Thorns.
Yeah, the letter N. The word roses, the letter N, the words thorn, and then pod. I have checked a few times for more convenient Twitter handles. They're not available at this time. When they become available, we will let you know.
Yeah, we're trying.
We're not that interesting, but if you follow us, we'll follow you back unless you are racist or otherwise offensive.
We retweet things?
I retweet things when I find news. I retweet it. I follow a lot of the Bachelor people and other Bachelor podcasts who stumble upon things because they're like really proactive on the internet, which is probably why they get more listeners than we do. And that's fine. I don't care. Whatever. They got more time than we do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I retweet things that I find. I like things that I find, as pertain to the Bachelor world. And occasionally just things that are going on in life that I think are good information or useful. Or there's one person we follow that just occasionally tweets "Representation Matters Today." He just does it like every week. He just tweets it just like as a reminder. And sometimes I like it where I'm like, yeah, that's true. Like it doesn't like how I feel in the moment that I read it that I'm like, yeah. Absolutely.
Some weeks, maybe not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's funny.
I mean, not that I ever think that it doesn't. Right? Just like sometimes it like, because you read it so many times, and like sometimes it like, it speaks to me more than others. Or I'm like, in this moment, I'm like, there are things happening in our political climate where like, this really is important to reiterate.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Okay. Follow us.
Yeah.
Rate, review, and subscribe.
If you have thoughts that you want to share with us, tweet us, DM us, whatever.
Yeah,
like, we will share your opinions on our podcast.
If you have any news, share it with us. If you have feedback about what we can change about our podcast, let us know.
Yeah,
or
whatever.
Or fuck
any
you.
Feelings you have, or fuck you. Yeah. I like that. All right.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay, bye.
Bye.